What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Rye Day Friday. As you can see here, we have a Midwinter Nights Dram. This is a blend of straight rye whiskey. We're trying to work our way into the rye world here, figure out what we like when it comes to rye. Now, I was skeptical on this for the first time drinking it because, as you know with bourbons, I don't like finished bourbons. And it says right here, finished in French oak port barrels. Bottled by High West Distillery, Park City, Utah. So this is a Utah rye. Now, I'm going to be relaxed here. This is going to be a little low key, less than the bourbons. We're going to learn together here. I've got notes on all of this. This is Act 9, Scene 5. This is the newest bottle that came out. It says right here, this is their most anticipated limited release, which I don't believe. I'm sure they're all very anticipated. And what this is this is High West Rendezvous Rye, finished in ruby and tawny port barrels for an additional 1 or 2 years. So basically they take a rye that they already have, they put it into port barrels for another year or two, and then they call it a Midwinter Nights Dram. Now, I should have went out and bought the Rendezvous rye to see if I like that before it gets put into the port barrels, because I'm not a big finished guy when it comes to my ryes or bourbons. But we're just going to start off with this. Go big or go home. Best of the best. People rave about this bottle here. Everybody's looking for it. I ended up getting a bunch of them and sending them off to some Patreons, sending them off to some friends, stuff and whiskey. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see where this is. We're going to start with the traditional sip as usual. Here we go. All right, it's pretty good. So off of the rip here, initial thoughts on this. When I first opened this up, you can see I just got this 2 days ago. I already drank a significant amount of this because I was very confused on how I felt about it. First of all, let's start off. Let's just go over the details. A Midwinter Nights Dram. This was actually named after, it says right here, it was named after, no, it doesn't say right here. This is named after Shakespeare, a Midsummer Night's Dream or whatever. You guys know what it is. Haven't taken English class in a while, but it's Act 9, Scene 5. Now, Act is apparently the bottling day. If somebody knows this more than I do, because I don't know anything about this, Act is the bottling, so I'm assuming like the 9th month maybe. Scene 5 is the year, or Act 9 is I don't know. Is Act 9 2021 and Scene 5, it was January, February, March, April, May. It was bottled in May, but it's just being released. Is Act 9 September and the 5th one? I don't know. You guys tell me. Act 9, Scene 5. That's what we've got here. The latest one. Limited engagement. All that good stuff. Now, I did they have tasting notes right on their website, right? So these are very in-depth. I haven't seen tasting notes like this since Barrel Bourbon. Barrel Bourbon has some crazy tasting notes on their website, too. I can't pick out all of these tasting notes, but I'll tell you what I do get. This is a limited blend of straight rye whiskeys open with notes of muddled blackberries. Definitely there. Blackberries is definitely on there, or some kind of dark berry. I'm starting to pick up more on those fruit flavors. Muddled blackberries, honey poached figs. Sure, definitely. I've never eaten a fig before, I'll be honest with you. Chocolate covered cherries. I get the chocolate, I get the cherries. So sure, they're chocolate covered cherries. We'll go with that. Toasted marshmallow. Marshmallow is a difficult one for me. Sometimes I get marshmallow, sometimes I don't. This one doesn't have marshmallow to me, although it says it should. Maybe a little bit on the nose, but again, I feel like they're reaching there. Gentian root. Some kind of root. I don't get that. Star anise and hoisin sauce. Now, hoisin sauce is a funny one. I just made General Tso's chicken tonight. We used hoisin sauce. Couldn't find it in the grocery aisle. It's in the international section, not in the sauces section, just so you guys know. On the palate, it offers refreshing sugar plums, blackberries, spice. Oh, that was just the nose. So we weren't even on the palate yet. Sugar plums, blackberries, which I get, spiced bitter orange. The orange, maybe, like a citrusy note, like an orange citrus. We're going to need more of this. Toffee cookies and a side of orange tea. Fresh dates, cinnamon strudel, brown sugar glass. Definitely brown sugar in this. Dried thyme leaves. The finish yields aromatic bitters, pink peppercorn, violets, and mint. So again, very in-depth flavor profile when it comes to this. And you get very in-depth flavor profiles from drinking this. Now, do I get all of these? Absolutely not. I'm not good enough to pick these out yet. But it's definitely complex. You can pick up the complexity of it. Again, I wish I had the Rendezvous to kind of compare to see what the port barrel finishes do rather than the actual rye whiskey that they're making themselves. But other than that, it's It's just a complex. It's crazy because it's not even that spicy either, right? The sweetness kind of really takes over this bottle. I don't even have the. Do they put out their mash bill on the Rendezvous Rye? If this is just that, then we would know the mash bill. I don't believe that they do. A Midwinter Nights Dram, Act 1, Scene 1, William Shakespeare. Midsummer Night's Dream. A Midsummer Night's Dream, a Midwinter. It's all coming together now. Shakespeare is a smart guy. So those are the tasting notes. That's what the bottle is. Now the question is it good? Again, we get back to the fact that I drank a lot of this bottle here because I first opened it up, texted my brother-in-law, I said I don't like it. Because in my mind, I thought it's a finished bottle, it's a port finish, it's a wine finish. I don't like it. You get that flavor right off the rip. You're definitely going to get that finished flavor that you can just tell it's finished. It's the same type of thing where when I drink copper distilled bourbons or ryes, you can just tell that it's copper distilled. It's got this distinct flavor profile. Port wine finishes just have this distinct flavor profile. And if you like wine finishes, this is apparently the best of the best. Now, this is MGP, and they're distilling their own stuff now. So apparently back in the day, it was straight MGP, right? They were getting all of their product through MGP. Now they've started distilling their own product and blending it in together. Now, I've heard the MGP original stuff might be better than what they're blending right now. And this is something that we've talked about before, where a company or a distillery or a bottler who wants to go out and try to get their name out there, then they realize they can start distilling or start making or finally get the age to put their own stuff in. But it's not going to live up to MGP's product because MGP is just so good at doing it. They've been doing it for so long. They have so much product at so many years old that how are you going to compete with a distillery like MGP with your own stuff? Now, eventually, most people start doing this type of process where they start slowly integrating their own stuff, 70-30, 80-20, 90-10, whatever it happens to be. But eventually, it seems like this is going to be eventually 100% their own bottling, their own distilled ryes. So is that going to take it from a great MGP product to a decent Midwinter's Night Dram product? We have the Remus Repeal 5, which we're going to review here in the next week or so, which is apparently the greatest MGP product that there is in that Remus Repeal 5. So again, it's just kind of tough for me not having their previous acts or their previous scenes or however it works, not having any of that to compare it to say that this is better or worse or this is great or it's not as good as it used to be or it's better than it used to be or whatever it happens to be. What I can tell you off this bottle alone is it is delicious. It's the best port wine finished bottle that I have. I haven't had a lot of them. I'll actually just go as far to say it's the best finished bottle that I've had. I haven't had a finished bottle that I can truly say that I enjoy until I found this bottle here. The best thing about this bottle is this is the perfect time to release this. When you get into the fall weather, when you get into that sit outside by a campfire, that marshmallow, right? All of those flavor profiles that we're talking about, that's where this bottle is really going to shine. And sitting outside, I could really understand why people would love this bottle. First of all, the story behind it. The availability makes it definitely desirable. At $100, it's not a terrible ask. We just did a $100 bottle for this week's Bourbon of the Week with the Widow Jane 13 year. So I don't hate $13 or $100 bottles, but what I do hate is if they don't live up to the standards of a $100 bottle. And this one seems to. Everybody across the bourbon / whiskey / rye community seems to say that this is a great bottle, and I don't disagree with them. I did it first, but I don't now. And that's where let's take another sip and see if we can figure out anything else that we want to tell you about this. We talk about price, taste, drinkability on my original channel with the Bourbons of the Week. This comes in at 98.6 proof. Drinkability might be one of the better, if not the best drinkability that I've had when it comes to a rye or a bourbon. This is you're talking no real ethanol kick at this, and it's 100 proof bourbon almost. Like, this goes down like water, which is why I think maybe a lot of people would enjoy this. But at the same time, they don't proof it. They probably proof it down because I doubt it comes out at 98.3 proof or whatever I just said it was, 98.6 proof. But they don't lose any of the complexity with the flavors. So to do that, 100 proof, drinkability, fantastic. Taste, outstanding. Price, $100. We already talked about it. If I were to put this on our ranking sheet, which I don't do, I do not put ryes on our ranking sheet, at least not yet. This would definitely be in the top 5. I would easily say that. No questions asked. And that's coming from a guy who hates finished bourbons. So take it with a grain of salt. That's just my opinion on it. It's kind of crazy that I was able to get my hands on this bottle. This didn't drop online here in Pennsylvania. It actually made its way to the shelves. So if you can get your hands on this bottle, I would highly recommend it. Definitely do it. It's the best finished bottle that I've had. It might be one more thing. I'm going to do one more thing just for today. Going to use my new Drink Pro glass here. By the way, check out Kyle on the Drink Pro if you don't already. This is the Willett Family Reserve, right? This is Willett Family Estate. The green, is this green? It's kind of dark over here. Yeah, the purple one's the bourbon. We're going to compare these two. This is my current favorite rye that I have. It's a toss-up between this and the Pikesville, but I do think that the Willett actually beats out the Pikesville. So we're going to see real quick. I'm just going to throw these next to each other and see which one I like better, because I do think that if I like this better than this, that's telling me something, especially for a finished bourbon. Excuse me, rye. They're so different. I can't even compare these. I don't know why I even tried this. This has the rye spice to it. This doesn't have a rye spice. It's kind of wild for a rye, and especially a rendezvous rye or whatever they call it, that it doesn't have the rye spice to it, which is really toned down, I'm assuming, by those port barrel finishes, where this isn't a finished bourbon, or a finished rye. This is straight rye, so you're going to get more of that rye spice. So I didn't realize exactly how much those finishes are going to tone down that rye spice compared to something that's not finished. This is fantastic. This is different. This looks older. It's darker. This has a little less of a dark color to it. So it does seem like this may be an older rye here. Who knows? Does it have? I don't know if it has. Does anybody know? This is what I mean. This is why I need you guys. This is actually why I make these videos, because you guys tell me in the comments below more than I learn myself. I Google these things, I look on the internet, I read other reviews, I watch other videos, but I never learn as much from you guys telling me, which you should do by joining me on Discord. Check it out, link in the description below. Come join us on Discord. Once we get to 100 members, we're definitely going to do a giveaway, Discord only. And check me out on Patreon and Instagram at Bourbon of the Week. That's where I'm going to leave you for today. I appreciate you guys stopping by. This is fantastic. Definitely a top 5 rye that I've had. I've had a lot of ryes. Does it compare to this? They're different. Apples to oranges. Why can't we compare them? They're both fruit. I know. A little Dicky reference if you get it. That's where we're going to leave it. Don't drink and drive. Drink responsibly. And as always, stay healthy, stay happy, stay drinking. Cheers, y'all.